This is Tim Loves, and I'm owner of a copy of OBS and a built-in laptop microphone. This is another video for the Nomad Funnelhacker. I'm once again in this new workspace I set up, and I haven't really set up that much or done that much with it, except for a few basic things. In the last video I made using this workspace, I did change the name to Full Moon Dance, and I also talked a little bit about the apps. You can see here that most of our apps are available, and we haven't installed them yet, and it may be some time before we get around to some of them, because right now I don't even have Payments AI set up, and I'm not going to probably do that for a while because this is going to be sort of a test account. But anyway, for today's video, we are going to be looking at one of the apps, and we're going to be installing it, and that is landing pages. And at one point, it was called standalone pages. And what landing pages are is they are actually standalone pages that you can set up individually for certain things. You can also incorporate them in the funnel, but they're not a funnel. They're just a single page. And so you can use these things for, like, if you just want to have opt-ins that are, you can pull in any funnel, you can do it that way. Another purpose they could be used for is legal pages. If you don't want to create legal pages every time, you can create those as a landing page and just link to the landing page URL. And so there's several uses you could have for them. But let's go ahead and click on the landing pages icon here. And you can see that we have a choice to learn more, add to add. There is a little video from Todd Dickerson if you want, kind of give me the overview of this. We're just going to add the app. So it's going to ask us to select a template, fund an existing page, or start from blank. Well, let's see. We might just start with an opt-in here if we can find a fairly simple one. I generally start with a blank page for most of these videos, but this may be one of those cases where it's worthwhile to do it the opposite way. But I don't want one that has too much going on it. And all these have way too much going on with them. All right, we'll choose this big background squeeze here, because that can be adjusted quite a bit. And we're going to change that to landing page test 1. Because we have to give it a name, then it will give it the URL down here. Tells it the URL is available. We're going to use a default page style. We're not going to index the search engine right now, and we're not going to add to site navigation. So we're just going to create the page. It's up in our pages section. All right, and then we can come to our hamburger icon so we see the whole thing. And what I think I'll do for right now is I'm first of all going to get rid of the background. So I can just turn that off right now like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take some of this stuff off. Definitely the powered by ClickFunnels I'll take off. I think we can leave this here, if that would link to our legal pages. Now we probably want to redo that at some point. Let's go ahead and see if it's actually hooked up, which it's not. So we can leave that there, because there probably ought to be a line for our legal pages that we're going to hook to. And then here, I can probably just leave this like it is. I might go ahead and let's see, this is a section. So let's go ahead. This is an extra small. Let's make this a medium like that. And then we will get rid of this image. Don't want that there. let's go ahead and make this background white. We want to go to our background. We're going to turn it on. It'll be default white. Actually, for right now, let's make it sort of a gray, like that. And then I'm going to just come to all my headline and other text here. We're just going to go ahead, go to typography and hit override. And we're going to go ahead and change the color to black for right now. I'm going to leave that the color because now we're going to go back to our section. Now our row, we have our rows. They should be either turned off or transparent. Yeah, the background on the rows is turned off. So when we come to our section now, we'll go to the background and we'll make that black. Actually, make it white. We'll make it white right now. Okay, so this is an example of one of the things we could do. We've created this section here. Maybe we would want this background to actually be slightly different. So we're going to go ahead and kill the foreground. First, we need to get rid of that image. All right. Get rid of that. Get rid of this foreground color, which is annoyingly blue. What about background? Get rid of that too and make it white. And go to our foreground and turn it off. Okay, for our column as a gradient. All right. So now it's kind of a white background, and we'll just make this a slightly off-white. Like that. And I forget which color that is. It's either anti-flash white or sea salt or something close to one of those colors. I think it may be, I think the sea salt may actually be F7, F7, F7. We did F9, F9, F9. But in other words, we kind of made an off-white background to give more definition to our box here. And let's take a look, see if we've got shadow added here. They went with the shadow that's using the default style, so it does have some shadow. And that's fine. Now for this email, I would probably want to define that a little bit better. Let's see if we can get anything. Yeah, I think I'll go with the 3 on that. That's good enough. Then let's save. And so now we've got a perfectly good little opt-in box. We got a headline, it's a sub-headline, instructions on what they want to do and what they're going to get, or what they're going to be directed to. We've got an input to collect their email, and we have a button. Now as well, we could probably add a pop-up if we wanted to, but we don't have one right now. And so this is an example of a kind of page we could use as a page that we could pull into a funnel and have it already made as a simple opt-in page. Now, of course, we probably need to change our text to whatever we're offering. So we would probably clone this page and then make those changes. But a landing page can be as simple as complex as you want. And you will see lots of offers that have an opt-in box that's very simple like this. It's very, very common. So not everything is built out as a long, fancy opt-in page. Some of them are very, very simple and they get right to the point. That gives us something on our page. Now, if we go back here, and then we can see All right, so now you can see under landing pages, we have the page we just created. And we're on landing pages. Now, if we go to our workspace settings and we go to pages, you can see under landing pages, there is the page we just created. And then you have your other types of pages here, your theme pages, which I would recommend not messing with too much because it's easy to get unintended results. You have your site pages, which are for your site, and that's going to be your site, which is your main URL for your funnel hub. Then you're going to have your funnel pages, which are pages that are in funnels. In this case, I only have one funnel I built in this workspace, and that was by accident, but it does have 3 pages, and it all shows up here. That is kind of it. And that's it. I mean, it's going to be just this section where you'll have standalone pages, and you can always bring them in to your projects. Because once we have created that, it's going to exist in our library pages. So let's go to the funnel I referenced. And we're going to pretend like we're going to add something to it. We're really not, but we're going to use that. And so we're going to come down here, click on the plus sign, click on page. Under pages, we can go to my funnel pages. And you see right there our landing page test 1 is. So if I wanted to add that to my funnel, I would just choose it and then create the page. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to add a page I don't need to this funnel, but that's how you would do that if you had a funnel and you wanted to bring that page into it that's in the landing page section. So that is it for this video on the landing page app and the landing pages. My name is Tim Lewis. I'm a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder. I make tutorial and demonstration videos on ClickFunnels, funnel building, web page design, and all the tools that go along with doing all the above. That's the video for now. I'll talk to you later.